Hello guys, and assalamu alaikum to all my brothers and sisters out there. Wealth Warrior back with another video. In today's video I'm basically going to be talking about the daily setup again. I hope the video title is not misleading. It's not. I've basically made $100 off this, and it is 2% of the account. So I trade a 5k funded account, so that basically made me $100. This can easily be done on a 20k account, 10k account, 50k account, 100k account, wherever. If you make 2% on that, say for example on 100k, you're making $2,000 a day. Of course, I'm trying to be realistic as possible. This is not possible every single day. Just stay consistent, train your mind to see these things. That's why literally I'm making these videos, because anybody can have this strategy, but you have to train your mind to see these trades and have that psychology in place, the good risk to reward, the risk management, the proper discipline. Because I know a lot of people that know this strategy, but we all for some reason trade it differently. I'm in a bunch of Discord groups which I've paid before, and like we all use it differently. It's insane. Some people are swing traders, some people are day traders. Everyone's going to see it differently, but at the end of the day, if you have a system that works for you, then good, so be it. And I found a system that works for me. I'm showing you here today how I do it, how I look at it. Hopefully you can train your eyes then to see that as well. So how I made 2% on my account, let's get right to it. So this was a GJ trade I took myself, and I took this trade on the 16th of Jan. So I'm gonna basically take it back to the 16th of Jan, which was a Monday, and yeah, it was a good week. It was a good start of the week because how can you not be happy? 2% made on the account, and yeah, done for the day. So what I do is I start on the daily, same as the last video. If you check out my last video, I'm gonna literally just be going through the same steps. Okay. Of course, B1. There's a lot of. I think there was a lot of news on Monday, so I was quite worried about that, obviously. But anywho's. We're going to be looking for the daily buy side liquidity and the daily sell side liquidity. So in other words, these are the swings on the daily. In other words, I like to just basically see it as this. I'm looking for these arrows, so the swing points. This is basically what a swing should look like. That's a swing. So higher highs on each side, lower lows on each side. That's a swing for me. Of course, this is not a finished swing, low here, but this either has to be taken out. This most likely has to be taken out in order for this to be taken out. So the sell side liquidity. Okay, but the thing is, this still doesn't give me enough to think, like if we're bearish or bullish. It doesn't give me a good bias. So what I need to do is use the Fibonacci tool, use it on the most recent complete swing. I've said it before and I'll say it again. The Fibonacci tool is crucial, and yeah, it just gives you a really good idea just to see if the market would possibly reverse, carry on, or if we're discounted and premium, whatever. So here we can see we are heavily discounted, and we are now sitting in a very good optimal trade entry. Okay, literally it just sits right perfectly into an optimal trade entry, and hopefully we are going to see a reversal, possibly in this fair value gap, and then see another reversal down to take out this sell side liquidity. But either way, we're just focusing on the current day. I'm hopefully seeing that we're going to be bullish, especially seeing this fair value gap up here. I want to see that we trade into it before we see another reversal to the downside, but that's for another day, of course. So now let's go to see if there's any order blocks. So we have a nice order block down here, a bit too large. But what I'm going to do is then go down to the 4-hour time frame and see if I see anything. Okay, so now clearly we can see we've traded into a nice 4-hour order block. We've traded into a nice 4-hour order block, and hopefully I'm going to see a reaction off here. Clearly, again, if you use the Fibonacci tool, we're going to see we're heavily discounted. But there's nothing else that I can really see here that's worth mentioning. We can look at the fair value gaps again. There's a lot of fair value gaps. Hopefully we're going to possibly be trading into one of them. Of course, there's a daily up here. We can mark the daily just to make it easy on the eye. But look, we see a nice daily fair value gap up here, which we need to trade into. and let's go now to the 1 hour time frame if we see anything. Now here I can see another order block. So actually, to be fair, we can refine this. So I remember I did refine this to the 1 hour. Here is that 1 hour order block. We trade into it and hopefully we're going to be seeing a reaction. Okay, we do see some kind of reaction already. Is there anything else I want to see? No, I'm happy with that. So now let's go to the 15-minute time frame. Let's start the day when we are going to be trading. So we are going to hopefully be looking for the London Open, which oh, sorry, we missed it. Okay, let me go back, sorry. So for me, this is basically when I'm trading, which is just before the London Open. So yeah, so like 1:45 I'll be here on the markets ready. Now, one thing we didn't draw is liquidity, but I just wanted to point out what I see here in terms of liquidity, because liquidity, in my opinion, is your strongest friend in the market. So the reason I say that is because liquidity is the one thing that would always be taken out. It's literally kind of like the backbone of the market. So I'm talking about double bottoms, double tops, trend line liquidity, previous daily highs, lows, weekly highs, lows, monthly high lows, possibly even quarterly high lows, but I don't really dwell into the quarterlies and sometimes even the monthlies too much. Because I'm a day trader, I focus kind of like more on the immediate price action. Of course, it's higher probability if you focus on all of that, but yeah, it's just more time consuming for me, I'll be honest. So yeah, I just focus on that. So if we were to look at liquidity here, what can we see as liquidity? If you were to be, if I was to just test you and be like, what kind of liquidity can you see here? What can you see? Now, the thing is, a lot of people possibly won't see this, but we can see a nice trend line liquidity forming here. We're bouncing off, and then, yeah, like we're just basically bouncing off here, and then, can you see that nice reaction as well? Like, there's a liquidity up here as well, and obviously we can use previous daily highs and whatnot. So the previous daily high will be over here and kind of sits perfectly on a fair value gap as well. Anywho's, let's get right into it. So this is basically 2 o'clock the open, and what do I see here? So immediately what I see on the 15-minute chart is that we have nice reactions. So we have a nice 15-minute order block here, 15-minute order block, then we have a nice 15-minute order block here. I see a nice reaction here. As you can see, we've traded into that. Now for me personally, I would have traded in here. I would have traded it right in here, because we can see a change of character. This is a change. This is for me a strong change of character over here. So now, and we can see also we have reacted on a 15-minute order block. We've also on a, I think this was a 1 hour order block stemming off from a 4 hour order block. And yeah, so for me, potentially, like I said, I'm also bullish as well. So for me, this is a nice reversal to then enter on a trade. So here we can see a fair value gap. Just enter off here. Now see, for me, this is too big of a stop loss. So now what I would do is enter off then the 5 minute. So let's look at the 5 minute over here. Still too much. 1 second. Okay. Yep, I'll let it play out. Okay, so I've missed this one, but this was a good trade I could have taken. You could have taken this trade on like this order block over here, put it down here, take it from this swing. But yeah, this is the actual trade I actually took, sorry. So you can see this fair value gap here. We have a really strong movement on the upside, so extra confidence for me. So this is a good trade, but this is another good confirmation trade. So what I'll do, I'll place it on this fair value gap, place it on this low. The reason why we'll put it here is because this is the movement. So this is the cause of this movement. So this order block or this down movement is what pushed the market to then go basically break this swing. Okay, so I'll put that here, and then now my take profit would be this swing, so today's one. Ideally what I would like to do is focus on possibly like the previous daily high, for example. You could even possibly aim for something like this, but for me personally, I would go for this because it meets my risk to reward ratio, and my risk management, my trade discipline. It just meets all the criteria for me. So now let's see if we enter this trade. Boom. So again, we've basically taken out liquidity again and entered into the market. Let's see what happens. Boom. Shoot up. Okay. Now another thing I just want to say about in terms of liquidity, although we see a nice trend line liquidity here, you can see there's another trend line liquidity here which just basically got taken out, trading into this order block, and as you can see, we've just hit TP. So yeah, perfectly we've hit TP. You could have hit this one if you really wanted to, but ideally I would want to go for this one, and yeah, perfect TP for me. This is how my trade looked, and yeah, so I do other things in terms of risk management, but yeah, hopefully that was a good video for you guys. I really hope I explained everything well. I don't feel like I did, but I'm just giving it a shot. So again, basically start off from the daily, go down lower gradually in terms of the time frames. Ideally you would want to, I executed actually this trade on the 2-minute time frame, because look, you can see this fair value gap over here, and then we've got this order block, and then put this my stop loss just before this, below this low here, because this is the one that caused it. And yeah, I've really got this nice, I think it was a 3.5 RR trade that I got, and yeah, it was a really good trade. I was really happy with it. I caught it, and I'm not sure where the market actually went. Let's see, because I actually do want to see where the market went. See, we possibly still would have been in this trade. Oh, so you can see you actually traded into this fair value gap. You probably could have even taken out of here. So like this swing point high, you could have taken out. Focus on the 1 hour. We can possibly see better like targets. Let's see. Could we have taken it to here? I mean, I'm just seeing this. I mean, yeah. See, we could have even taken it to here. This would have given me a 11.9 RR. We literally did not trade down below this. So we took out like some minor trend line liquidity, and yeah, this was a really good trade. My bias was really good, and for me personally, I think my bias is always really good, recognizing what the bias is. If you have a good understanding of that, then you will have these high probability setups. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying like I'm really good at predicting these and I'm never wrong. There's days I am wrong. Often Tuesday and Wednesdays I'm wrong, because that's when the high of the day or low of the day is formed, and it plays with your emotions. But like I said, stick with it, trade, and look, you could have gotten this move here, literally into this fair value gap. You could have traded this, and then obviously here maybe possibly a reversal, but yeah, I did take a trade on that. But yeah, hopefully that makes sense. It's been Wealth Warrior. I really hope you enjoyed the video and this made sense. And yeah, please continue watching. Leave a comment, share, like, subscribe, all that kind of stuff. And hopefully I will see you in the future. Thank you. Bye.